Welcome back to the Old Guy Racing League. We head into the third final round here, round number 11 at Suzuka for the Coffee Cup League. It's been an absolutely phenomenal one so far for the season, but we're getting to the leg end stretch now, the third final round before we head into our penultimate and then our final 90-minute race at the Nürburgring Combined. My name is Tristan Earps, joined in the commentary box and the production booth by Jim Cunningham. And like I mentioned, we're here at Suzuka International Racing with a lot of weather all over the track. Lots of rain and puddles have been forecasted, and you can already see it in the background that there is a huge amount of water sitting on today's track. So we've got quite an interesting race up ahead of us here. 3.5 miles around the track. We don't need to go too much into Suzuka because I think everybody in the realm of motorsports would know what Suzuka is. It's a very common circuit in most racing series, but today we get to see it at the Coffee Cup League presented by OGRL and all the amazing sponsors, which you'll see rotating in the top right-hand side of the screen. Jim, welcome in. How are we feeling for tonight's race here at Suzuka? Morning. It's morning for you guys. For the morning race here at Suzuka.
It is indeed morning, hence the Coffee Cup name. Fueled by the roasted record there, as you can see their logo in the top right-hand corner. I'm pretty excited about this, to be honest with you. You and I both love Suzuka. I think we've called it for another series that we do. I know I do anyway. I like the technical aspects of it. It's also been around the history of, auto racing, gaming, sim racing, as it later became, this track has been in every game, from the beginning of time, as far as I can remember, it's a very technical circuit. To me, it's a fun circuit to drive. Not so sure that I'd want to be out there in these conditions. This seems more like a sit at home and watch it on TV kind of conditions. But,
exactly.
But it's going to be challenging for sure, and it's going to be interesting to see how these guys manage the slower traffic out here, because when rain comes out, I think there's a great disparity in abilities to drive in the rain. Some guys are really fast and can just feel it, and then other guys struggle. I mean, it's tough, but I think it's going to be challenging and fun for sure.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what we're doing here today. We get to watch it from the comfort of our seats while the drivers have to battle it out. And we had a bit of a camera angle there from Bradley Tidwell just before we started the stream here at Motormouth Broadcasting. And man, was he fighting with that Lamborghini to keep it pointing straight. But as mentioned, if you are in our virtual grandstand and you've got some members or family members who aren't currently doing anything on this Sunday morning, make sure you tell them to head over to Motormouth Broadcasting and join us for round number 11. It is sure to be quite an interesting race here today, with the weather effects that have come down at Suzuka. Like Jim mentioned, a very technical circuit here for the GT3 class cars, and we have got a great race on our hands here today. We're 8 minutes or so, about to be 9 minutes into our qualifying session. You'll get that live timings board coming up on your left-hand side to see all of the grid current positions for our drivers. But let's go through that championship standings just before we head into that qualifying. It is Mr. Ryan Merriam who still leads this for the pro drivers, 500 points. It's A. Gearing who sits behind him, and then Cook just behind him in third. Jeff Cheney will be sitting in fourth, with Tyler Probert down in fifth position. Smalley takes sixth position, and Tidwell, who we just spoke about, still sitting in seventh position, 417 points currently to his name. Sebastian Fack sits in eighth, with Brian Faluna and Dev Van Roy in 10th position. So that is your top 10 for the pro class. We're not going to go through it all the way down. You can see it visibly on your screen, all the way down to 24th position. We'll go through a neat running order as we get to the closing stages of our season. Moving over to our Pro-Am class, the middle runners, it is Mr. Joe Williams who sits up in front, 400 points, but only 6 points clear from Rahul Pasta in second position. Heath Olinger also just behind with 3 points of a difference. The top five, quite a matter of fact, top four, all in a pretty much a contention here for the lead of this division. So you have to watch out for that one. We then got Bailey, Price, Hanault, Lowalski, Dickerson in 9th position, and Hathaway all the way down in 10th with 258 points to his name. Again, you can see the race from 11th down to 22nd position. Dukowski's there, Kingsbury's there, but that you can also just observe as it scrolls along. And then our final one for tonight is going to be our AM class. It is still Curtis Matthews who leads with 375 points to his name. JT Sawyer just behind him with 333 points, so a little bit of a spacing away that Matthews got, bit of a cushion up in front. Gardner and Williams take third and fourth, with Rees in fifth position. Jellessoens, our Belgium driver, in sixth position, currently 290 points, and so he's got a bit of a contention there to try and push onto Rees. Schneebel is taking seventh, and Risley and Sackett, Carlson, all left for the top 10, 8th, 9th, and 10th, respectively. You can see our 11th down to 28th as the rest of our drivers in our AM class. And that is officially the championship standings before we head into our racing action here, before qualifying eventually comes to an end.
So you missed last week. You weren't here with us. And what was funny is Curtis Matthews was a little under the weather, and he was struggling last week at the track that we were at, and which was Monza. And, he was pretty far back in the field, sixth or seventh maybe, but overall very low in the field. And just certain things fell his way, and I don't even remember all the incidents. And next thing you know, he's winning the daggum race. I mean, and it was clearly going to close the points battle back up a little bit, and then all of a sudden, he's in the lead and winning the race, and it was just crazy. But so he actually extended his gap when it looked like he was going to close last week. But so I just thought I'd give you that. It was pretty funny the way it all fell down last week.
That shows the. I was going to say that shows the crazy dedication from Curtis Matthews to win the AM championship. And like we've always spoken about him, he has been pushing extremely hard this season to get those results. And thank goodness it is paying off for him. But like you mentioned, let's go through our current running series order for the Old Guy Racing League. It is not just the Sunday Coffee Cup that we get to witness on a Sunday morning. We've got a couple of other things that you also are freely able to join in the bottom right-hand side, discord.gg/OGRL, or by using the Linktree link just below it. Mondays, we've got the Rookie Like Road Course. It is all things to do with rookie cars and rookie tracks, meaning that if you are someone who cannot afford all of this expensive iRacing additionals, it is all the bare-bones stuff that you get with your iRacing membership. So there is zero excuse for you not to join. Tuesdays, we've got our ARCA Championships, and that runs obviously prior, with Wednesdays being your hometown short tracks, slightly shorter tracks in your mini stocks and street stocks. And Thursday comes your Thursday Thunder Trucks. Pretty self-explanatory. It is the Thunder Trucks running across the NASCAR trucks there on Thursday. And then obviously Sunday, your GT3 Coffee Cup. A bit of a break on Friday and Saturday, but for the rest of the week, we are running hot here at the Old Guy Racing League. And speaking of running hot, the drivers are doing exactly that here. Those tires will be trying to find the optimal lines in the wet to stay nice and cool as they continue out on track. Your live timing pops up on the left-hand side. It is Bradley Lovings currently sitting in 10th position that we look at for the time being. But it is Hayden Young up in front with a 218.4. Leading that GT3 Pro-Am is then Rahul Pasta, who we already saw in that championship standings is possibly going to be contesting for the lead of the standings. And then obviously in our GT3 AM, is it a surprise, Jim, to see Curtis Matthews up there with the 22 flat?
Apparently not. It's really been his season this year. I do have to give him, give him credit for the work, as I always do. But what's really cool is this weather is going to mix it up a little bit this week, and so I think we might see some different names at the top of the leaderboard this week. Of course, we got Bradley Lovings on camera right now, running around in your favorite car, the ever vanishing Audi. It's disappearing.
the good old Audi that. Unfortunately dropping off of the iRacing calendar. Apologies about that. I had a slight weird audio issue there where my headset's just disconnected, and I had a fear that Jim was going to stop talking before I was able to come back, but we're all good and we're here. I'll try and get a backup solution ready in case it happens again. But like you mentioned, the Audi running across currently up to 130R, and it is such a shame to see the car just not getting the support it needs in the iRacing platform. I know, in real life, it's still run in the GT World Challenge and a couple of the other GT3 style races, so it really boggles my mind why it's not the most up. And there goes Bradley Lovings around. So maybe that's the answers why. I know it's quite a difficult car to run with, and Bradley Lovings proving exactly that. But that is our qualifying session officially done and dusted. We head to your warm-up, which is going to allow the drivers to find their pace just a bit more. But I believe we do have a track map to show for you here at Suzuka, positioned in Japan. It is going to be a great race nonetheless. which will get up and running for you shortly. There it is, the right-hand side island just off the continent of Asia. It is Japan. As we head deep down into Japan, the Suzuka International Racing Circuit, commonly known for its appearance in F1 and other famous series alike, but it gets to appear here at the Old Guy Racing League for the Sunday Coffee Cup running. It is a complex, technical, long latitude track that we get to watch for here, and we'll get to go sector by sector, turn by turn, to see what our drivers are running with. Also, one of the only tracks that we get to see a bridge format where the drivers drive over the road that they're racing on. It appears at a Rand Park as well, but we get to see it here at Suzuka. Running down into turn number 1, it is going to be quite a sharp run, turning right as hard as you can, and hoping that first corner goes neatly for you. That then heads up into the Snake section, and obviously Snake, perfect example of it. You can see it on the track map why it's called the Snake. It is a series of left and right high precision corners that you have to get your braking, steering, and acceleration blipping correct in order to make it up the hill without making any mistakes. Up the Snake you go. You get to the anti-banked curve, and then obviously to the inaugural Dunlop corner, turn number 7, which is where you would break off into turn number 18 for the short circuit of Suzuka. But here we've got the full international. That then goes from turn 7 up to the Degner chicanes. Also, very technical part of the circuit. That entrance curve can become quite volatile if you do not take it right. So the drivers will have to watch out for that entrance curve. There we just pass it on the left-hand side. A bit of a runoff, and it's the same for the exit curve. If you just take too much of it, you could be finding yourself facing completely backwards. Heading up Degner, though, up to the hairpin corner. A great place for overtaking to happen if you're able to get the run out of the Degner corners. It's a long swooper left and holding on to the back straight. This then leads all the way up to Spoon Curve, which is coming up shortly after a short running of a bit of a straight. It's called a straight because the drivers don't really have to do much, but technically in terms of physics, it's not really a straight. It's quite a large bend, but not too much that the drivers have to do to get around that bend. We then head into Spoon Curve, another technical corner where you have to late apex at the end in order to get the rotation to get onto the back straight. This then leads you all the way down, and this is where you cross over the bridge section where you would be driving over just coming out of the Degners, and that's exactly where you position. Coming up, though, to that final left-hander corner, one of the most important ones, and well known here at Suzuka, is 130R. Again, one mistake here on that entrance curve, or not getting your blipping correct, you could be facing yourself on the outside line and not preparing yourself correctly for Casio triangles. Braking hard right into Casio triangles and hard left again to head to the final corner into last curve, and that's going to round off your lap here at Suzuka. We're looking at about 2-minute or so lap times, probably a bit more, that we are experiencing here today in the GT3s. But that is your lap done and dusted. All 3 of the F1 style sectors that we would normally see. In iRacing, I think it's split into a 5 or so. But that is it. Quite a bit of gradient to play with here at Suzuka. And what a race it's going to be in the GT3 class.
Yeah, this place, I think it has a deceptive amount of elevation change, too. If you think of Suzuka, I don't know, I never thought of it as having a major elevation change, but it really does have quite a dramatic elevation change in several parts of the track.
Yeah, absolutely does. It's a bit of a trick one, though, because, like you mentioned, you don't really see that gradient change just because of, you're trying to focus on matching the corners. It gives a bit of a similar vibe as Nordschleife. You kind of forget about what the track is. You forget about where you're going as long as you stay alive in the Nordschleife. I think that's most important. And so I feel like the same kind of algorithm gets played here at Suzuka. You're just trying to get around these curves as fast as possible and to render those lap times as quick as you can. And so, yeah, I mean, I've got to say it myself. Even after racing Suzuka so many times, I'm so familiar with the circuit, but you do not ever realize the amount of gradient change that you experience here at this circuit, especially for the fact that you literally drive over one of the parts that you drive on over a bridged section. I mean, that literally shows you how much gradient you increase. It's an entire roof length that you go up. So right. Very, very interesting topic there, actually, Jim, that I really didn't think about. Is just the gradient changes is so it's so unseen here at Suzuka.
It really is. When you think of Fuji, the other famous Japanese circuit, you certainly do think of some elevation change there because Mount Fuji's right there in the background and it's named after it and everything. But I mean, like right here, that's a pretty steep uphill grade right there, and you really just don't think about it here at this track. But I think it's really cool, and I think it adds an additional technical element to this track, which, technically speaking, this is one of the tougher tracks out there. I mean, it's known for precision, so I'm kind of excited to see this in the rain, to be honest with you. I really am.
I'm excited and I'm scared, Jim. I can't lie to you. I've seen some race starts, and race starts in the rain can get a little bit unpredictable, especially when those tires are nice and cold. Same with the brakes. So, yeah, let's cross fingers and toes that we get to see all our drivers heading up Snake all in one line. But we're officially getting ready for the starting procedure here at the Suzuka International Circuit. It is Hayden Young who's going to be lining up on front, with Jeremy Cheney just behind him in second. Stephen Smalley makes his appearance there on the second row. Great way to get himself up there. He sits third. No, he does not. Apologies, my live timings has deceived me. It's Raul Pasta in the Pro-Ams. Apologies, I was just looking at the pros. It is Raul Pasta who's really put in a blister of a lap here for the Pro-Am session. Wow. And up into third he goes, with Stephen Smalley now in fourth position. Behind them is then Damian Horvaton in fifth position, one of the funniest guys to interview. Let's hope he can get up into the top spot so we get to chat again. Cody Bont just behind him in P number 6. He'll also be trying to run for a couple of good positions. Paul Kirali, a name that I have not seen. I'm not too sure if he was here last week, but Heath Olinger lines up next to him. Been around a little bit. There we go. Official confirmation in row number 4. It is Heath Olinger alongside him in P number 8. Heading down to P number 9, the 5th row, it is Alan Purser with Bradley Tidwell. Fortunately, able to get himself in the top 10 with that Lamborghini Huracan, who's misbehaving here today in the rain. Sean Riley in 11th position with Brian Dukowski in his Corvette, lined up on row number 6. In P number 12, P13, Sebastian Fack will take it with Vladislav Poklon. This is a name I have not seen. I've prepared all the names, and I've never seen this name. This is Vladislav Poklonsky, I'm assuming. Yes, Poklonsky. There we go. Poklonsky. Apologies.
I'll give you that.
I'm usually not bad with the names, but that one really caught me off guard. Will Bailey lines up in 15th, and Wesley Smith in 16th position, just behind him, row number 8. Row 9, Curtis Matthews, our lead in the AMS, will be followed by Jelle Soons in P number 18. 19th position down is going to be Pernell Hanolt and John Gardner in row number 10. We've got to start speeding up here on 130R. JT Sawyer, Bradley Lovings in 22nd. 23rd position, we've got Chris Slane with that beautiful livery, Preston Hathaway, just alongside him in 24th. 25th position and down, it is going to be Micah Dickerson and Mitchell Williams just behind in 26th position. 27th, Ken Clode and Charles Dew takes 28th, and behind them, it is going to be Charles O'Brien, Robert Sackett. Charles O'Brien, I remember, got the Beaver a couple of sessions ago, but David Stoops has got the Beaver for today in 31st. Aaron Gehring in 32nd, not the greatest start for him, down in 32nd, 33rd, and that's officially it. We've managed to get through all of them, fortunately, before the end of the race. The pace car has pulled in. We just made it, literally just made it onto the clip of it, and Hayden Young will be leading us off here at the start. The gantry lights are there. The drivers are ready to pull off. Hayden Young is waiting to make the call, and there we go. It's green lights, so lights out, and away we will go. Hayden Young still leading on, but the Porsche of Jeff Cheney has gotten a much better start, heading down into the first curve. It's going to be a bit of a challenger for the drivers to keep nice and clear. I see Bradley Lovings has gotten 2 positions on the launch here and moves up into 7th position from 10th. Bradley Tidwell, Jelle Soons is around as well. So quite a bit of action here in our first lap.
Well, he might have actually saved it, believe it or not, but they were turning him.
Turning him indeed.
And there we see he's up 2 spots.
Yep, he's all good.
Yeah.
He's actually up into P1 of the AMS, so I wonder what happened to Curtis Matthews there. Curtis Matthews losing out just in the traffic. Yeah, so there he is just a bit further behind, losing out in the traffic to Jelle Soons. And up in front, though, Hayden Young, 1 second of a lead already in this race, and we've only just started 50 seconds in. 55 minutes to go for the drivers here to try and make it toward the end. Hayden Young running that very Lando Norris style livery. Somebody's gone off in the background. That's Horvaton. Yeah. No, Horvaton, the man who poured us drinks last time around, he's all the way at the back now. And unfortunately, he's going to have to work his way back up.
Commentator cursed him already.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to need to buy him a drink now, Jim. So there goes the commentator's budget, I suppose. Poor Horvaton at the backside. But Hayden Young really running a bit of a Lando Norris-styled livery, if you have to ask me. He's got the big British banner on the top side of his car. And then obviously the beautiful streakings. And again, we'll mention it to you. If you're on Motormouth and you've ever been on a stream with myself and Jim, you're going to hear livery talk. And there's a Mustang going sideways, heading up to Spoon Curve. Who on earth was that getting nose-tapped? And it looks like possibly Bailey or Dickerson. Yeah, it's Bailey dropping off in the middle of the track. And yeah, it looks like one of the Acuras met the backside. Is that Smith possibly?
Was it? Oh, I don't know. Somebody, it looks like, hit him because I saw a nose fly by there. Let's see if we can.
Yeah, I also saw it. Bit of a confusing one there. I thought that might have been Smith. I think it was an Acura. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll have to wait and see. It feels like safety car conditions with how slow the cars are taking it here. But as you can see, it is absolute downpour here at Suzuka.
Yeah, that's just the nature of this
absolutely.
Track. This track and these conditions here, especially on these cold rain tires, you know, they'll warm up and get to optimum temperature here pretty fast, probably. Let's take a look and see what the weather conditions are. Obviously, it's good. Well, to be honest, that's a pretty warm track for this amount of rain.
Yep. Yeah, no, I mean, now that I've gotten a somewhat adjustment to the Fahrenheit, I know that 76, 73 is roughly in the middle. So
yeah, 20s, low 20s, somewhere in there.
20, 23, 22, around about there, I'd say. But that's really not that cold for rain, I'm not going to lie, especially with this heavy downpour we're having.
I was shocked. I was shocked when I saw that. If I'm being honest, I didn't. I didn't think it was going to be anywhere near that warm.
Yeah, someone's holding a furnace up towards the sky, and all the rain is just getting a nice bit of warm drop effect. But hopefully that'll help the drivers keep themselves going. Unfortunately, those wet tires do rely on a bit of a wet line. So let's hope that the dry line doesn't start to form too early. Otherwise, those wet tires will need to seek for some water to stay nice and cool. Remember that the wet tires do get pumped to a much higher PSI compared to the dry tires. It's about a 26 PSI for the dries, and about a 31 PSI for the wet compound tires. So a lot more air being pumped into those tires, and that's all just to keep the surface level grip of the tire completely planted on this lower grip track, and giving the drivers all the grip that they might need. Oh, Curtis Matthews is in the sand, and that is our AM leader. He's into the pit lane. Yeah. What on earth happened to Curtis Matthews?
Let's see if there was.
Try and get a bit of a
famous for my slow replays. I'm trying. This is Dudkowski, but I wondered if maybe they were both potentially involved or something. That's why I wanted to. Oh, Dudkowski's taking a wild ride. Oh my gosh, he just missed Horvath in there. Oh wow.
Very.
I mean, he just missed him. Oh my goodness.
That was a
so that
narrow,
had
narrow
nothing to do with Curtis
Dudkowski
there. So this is.
No, definitely not.
I thought maybe he
might
have.
A bit of a different incident then.
I thought he might have taken Curtis out or something, or vice versa, you know. But let's see what happened with Curtis.
I think this might have been completely self-inflicted from Curtis. I think he's met the Degners, and he's met them incorrectly, possibly. Oh, he's even before the Degners, actually. And, okay, a bit of a grind on the wall, but I don't know if that's reasonable enough for the toe back. I mean, you really could have spun this around and continued going here.
Stuck.
But, I mean, he's a little bit beached, but, I mean, then he just decides. So, Slane was also off up in front there in the Porsche. So, two cars making a bit of a similar mistake. And that's how it goes for the first 5 minutes. I want to say a big thanks to all of you in the virtual grandstand. I see we've got the virtual grandstand quite alive here today.
Yes.
And Mr. Gearing, is that Gearing in the virtual grandstand saying EOL for me, FML? I'm not going to mention the last three. I don't know what the first three mean, though. End
EOL,
of life, possibly EOL.
End of line.
Yeah, end of life. Yeah.
End of line.
End of line. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
end of line. Okay. So he's at the
makes him start. It's making him start at the back of the pack. Yeah.
I see. All right. So that's the word from Mr. Gearing. That's why I started so far back. But a couple of others also. Pal Carali getting the cheers in P number 7 there. Great stuff from the virtual grandstand, showing a bit of sportsmanship to our drivers out on track. Keep it coming though. It's only the first 5 minutes. You've got another 50 minutes that you've got to be here. Please don't go anywhere. No, I sound desperate now. Enjoy your time.
Tidwell's car is angry, man. You weren't kidding about that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Every time I look at it, that car's twitching all over the place, and it's angry on both ends.
You can see it, right? Look at Tidwell's posture compared to this week. And go look at it at another one of our streams and look at how laid back he sits in that Lamborghini. He is fighting that Lamborghini every single corner here to keep it alive. And I'm sure you'll see it here through the couple of corners, how many corrections he's got to make just to keep this thing straight. There the wheel now rotates. There's already corrections. You can see the corrections coming in, just trying to keep it positioned forwards. And my goodness, look at the focus on that man's face. Tidwell is doing everything that he can. And
it's honestly like watching a different guy drive that car. I mean, no, it is. I mean, he's so chill normally, and you can tell he's tensed up right there. I mean, you can tell he's. maybe struggling's not the right word, but he's working hard. You know. Oh, look at.
Oh, we've got a camera as well for Mr. Damian. That's great to see. So now we've got a face to a name, and for the reference from earlier, Damian, when he won, I believe one of the previous races, we told him to go celebrate. No. Remember though, Jim. He posted a photo for us, and he went out for a drink, and then he got one for myself and Jim. But obviously, we're in America and South Africa, so best bet. Damian took all 3 drinks to himself, and let's hope he got home safe that night. Well, he's here, so that's the good part, right?
Yes, must have made it home
exactly.
safely.
So.
Don't let it be said that,
but,
that I forced anyone to drink my drink. If I'd have been there, I would have certainly had it with him.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I would have sat down and done it with him as well. Unfortunately, Belgium is a good plus 5,000, 10,000 kilometers away from me. That's not going to be an easy one to make before that drink becomes somewhat expired. But in any case, back to the GT3 racing. Yeah, watered down. Someone spiked it. Someone's drank it already. You don't know all the possible things that could happen in that time frame. But back to the more important thing, the racing is indeed on. And here's Slane just up in front of Charles O'Brien. Obviously, Slane also went off, but he's managed to keep second position. Now, Charles O'Brien, if you do remember, he is one of the slightly newer drivers to the OGRL Sunday Coffee Cup. And not the previous round. No, it was the previous round, the one that I missed. So Charles got the Beaver Boost on his car. So the Beaver Boost is essentially a bit of an assisting hand from some of the Foster drivers, and a bit of a setup assistance for the guys who are slightly newer to get around the track slightly easier. So the previous round, Charles O'Brien got a bit of a hand, and not gonna lie to you, Jim, seems like it's helped him. He's currently sitting second in that AM class, and
he looks solid too. I mean, like the car looks planted. He looks like he's, I mean, setup is
especially in the rain.
Important. Especially in the rain. But like, there's our Beaver of the week right
the next
there.
Person this is the next person I was going to chat about, the person who gets the Beaver Boost for Suzuka, and he's stuck. So I wonder if Curtis did get stuck, because Curtis David... I think so too. David is completely stuck in the sand there, nice and moist, nice and gritted up between the tire rim there. And unfortunately...
out there that are old enough to know, when I said the Beaver of the week, if you know, you know. We'll leave it at that. I will say this: Aaron Gearing got an end of line, right? He talked about that in the chat. Look at him now; he's in 16th place. He's up 16 spots already.
He is moving. Yeah, he is absolutely moving right now. And I mean, obviously it makes sense. I mean, Aaron Gearing, he's if you saw the championship standings, he's up there in the top 10.
Yes,
he's been fighting this entire season, so it's going to make sense for him to climb up. I did see someone though with a pedal camera now. Jim, I don't know. You flashed onto them and then we flashed off. I don't know who that was.
That's Purnell, actually.
Is that Purnell? So Purnell's got Purnell Halt. There we go. Nice little. I don't want to say foot cam. It's not a foot cam. It's a pedal cam of the footwork that you've got to do to control these cars, especially in the rain. And this is another thing that you're going to see, the micro adjustments in the GT3 car. Watch his throttle and brake input. You'll watch how he slowly gives a bit of throttle, and he's ready on that brake pedal to make any form of correction if needed.
Yeah, I mean, driving in the rain is an art, man. It really, really is. I'm not so great at it, to be honest with you. I'm kind of known. I'm a fantastic braker, but I am horrible on throttle control. I have a lead foot, and so I struggle a wee bit in the rain. It's just a personal thing, something I need to work on. I just wanted to I pulled this up. Bradley Lovings is up 15 spots into 7th already. And Gearing up 16 spots into 16th and moving up through the field as we see Yell Sones there.
17 now.
Sones went wide there. I think he might have been letting Gearing through, I think. I think he knew he was faster and decided to move. We've got this is Dudkowski again. We showed him earlier. That is the same exact spot, remember?
My goodness.
It's exactly the same spot, and he just missed taking out another car like he did.
My goodness.
I mean,
I think we got to get that. We got to get that one more time, Jim. We have to. That was.
All right, hold on.
That was like hair fraction level.
All right, let's see. Well,
that was in. I don't even. That is crazy how close this was. So he loses it on the grass. I think he touches the grass somewhere, possibly on the inside. Oh no, actually just losing the rear. But my word, how close is that? My goodness, if he did not over-rotate slightly more, he would have touched the back.
All right, so I'm going to do it one more time from here. This is the angle I wanted to see. And then, golly, okay. So now let me go real quick. I can't resist.
Well, we all know that red Corvette was on the verge of needing to.
And then here it is when he almost hit Damien.
Oh, again.
Same exact spot. I mean, exactly.
My goodness.
That is. I mean, it's funny, but it's not. But it is. You know.
Wow. It's just that it's ironic. You know, it's the same spot, the same incident. Funny enough, the same colored cars.
Oh
black and red.
it was. Yeah.
I mean,
if you didn't know better, you would think you saw a replay there of the same incident until you noticed the car difference. It was literally that close. I'm going to make a reel out of that with both of those spins on it, just for the heck of it this week. Oh,
well, there we go.
Goodness.
Appreciate you, Dukowski. Even though you've spun twice, you've made content, which is, it's a great feat to make some content.
You know what's funny is people enjoy making the reels, even if it's bad. I get messages all the time. Hey, I made the reel this week. You know, they love that. I mean, they might not like it when it happens, but you know, the reality is.
Hey, well now Dukowski gets the front page. You know, he gets to feature and. You know, that's great work from him. So sometimes you don't win all your battles on track. He gets to win one off track as well. And currently on board, though, with Mr. Cody Bond, someone who's also been quite competitive this whole season long. And he currently sits in second position in that AM class and chasing behind Raul Pasta and Corrali is just behind. And seems we have had...
was because...
Oh, there was actually an incident again. Same corner. Bit of over-rotate,
really
bit of understeer.
Okay,
and,
so sometimes the way our software works is just to let people know is it triggers on extremely slow things. When a car, you know, if he's on track but he comes to a stop, it'll show it as a crash. So I went to see what happened there, and this is our drinking buddy here.
Well, Overton coming through Casio Triangle. It looks he's made a bit of an error somewhere and. Bit of a confusing one if you have to ask me. Looks like he made a slight braking error coming into the Casios.
Yeah, I think he was,
and then just tried to nurse his car.
Yeah, I think he just carried too much speed in there and it just didn't get it wound up enough, you know?
Yep, exactly that. Just too much speed. We now obviously have a change for the AMs. It is obviously Jellasuns, who still sits up in P number 1, and Chris Lane, who sits in second in class right now. He's got Charles O'Brien, Brian, a little bit further behind in 22nd position. And so quite a bit of a gap that Slane has got himself. Remember, though, that points are not handed out here in terms of your division position. It is handed out in terms of your overall position. So it is 62 points to the leader. Someone's off on the left-hand side. Not too sure who that was. That was
be Charles Dew.
Yeah, might. Yep, that definitely is him. Charles Dew just touching the grass on the outside, and that's enough to throw you around. Fortunately, no one around him that he could have taken out with that spin, and looks like he can recover himself unless he decides to return it. I don't think that would be the most wisest decision here. I think he can definitely continue if he chooses to, and there he goes, continuing onto the track. But like I was saying, 62 points is going to be handed out to your overall race winner, and then every position below is -1. So, for example, position 2 will be 61, and position 3 will be 60 points, all the way down into 62nd position being 1 point. So everybody will get a point here today. We've only got 32 cars on grid, so every single driver is going to get a point to their name for today's racing at Suzuka. The question is how many points you can get. The more positions you get, the more points you will gather to your name. And, you know, I'm not going to lie to you, Jim, I always prefer races that, you know, include the entire grid in a point standing. I kind of find the traditional F1 system a bit odd, where only the top 10 score and the rest just sit on standby. Lots of the time you get so many great battles in your mid pack, and then what is it for? No points. It sometimes doesn't make sense to me. So
well, I do agree with you 100% on everything you just said there, and I like the fact that they have these split up into categories. So, you know, like. You and I do another series, and this season they split into 2 separate races. I always thought last year in that particular series, we had 50 plus car grids, and if you were a mid-pack guy, you had no shot of ever, getting any kind of glory whatsoever, because the top guys were taking it every week. Whereas if you have a pro AM and an amateur, these guys back here, man, you know what? There's just as good a racing back in 25th place as there is in 5th place. It's just they're racing,
Exactly.
a different, they're a different level driver, and they still should be battling for something. And I love that here. I do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I think it also just gives drivers motivation to keep going. You don't come into the first 2 rounds 0 points on the board. It's kind of a bit demotivating as you try and keep consistent throughout a season. So in this season, even if you come all the way down in 50th position, you're going to get yourself a couple of positions on the board, which is a couple of points on the board, which is it's a bit of a motivation indicator to keep on pushing, and that's exactly what our drivers are going to be doing here. 18 minutes into our 1 hour, or basically 1 hour stint minus the warm-up time, so 55 minutes overall here. And we will be having that one mandatory pit stop that will be happening for all of our drivers. Again, it happens around the 30-minute mark that our drivers will be coming in. And, Jim, we've seen it a lot of times here where drivers try and take a pit stop too early, and then they get to the end of the race and they're not able to finish it on that fuel tank, or they're not able to finish it and the tires have been completely shot out or worn out. So the drivers will have to make their mark here and watch that weather forecast to see if it's going to be raining the entire time. You do consume slightly less fuel in the rain, as you're not driving anywhere near as fast, and you're also braking slightly earlier. So the fuel strategy might be a little bit different here from what we've seen in the previous rounds.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're clearly going to be able to go significantly longer on fuel here, because I got a feeling that Mustang, which I believe that was Micah Dickinson. Yeah, Dickerson, I should say. I live in a town called Dickinson. Made me say that. I think he saw Horvat coming and changed his line, and the car got a little squirrely on him in the rain. As we see, he's coming up on Chris Slane there, which I love that. I have to say I love Dickinson's that Taco Bell purple livery, that blue and purple. I like that livery. To me that's a really cool livery. Our buddy who was moving up through the field might have just had a little incident. Let's see.
Oh, yep, it is indeed.
Not
Aaron
bad,
Gearing
though. Not
has.
bad.
Yeah, definitely not bad. It's not in the dirt,
honestly,
which means he doesn't get stuck.
I bet 50% of the field have an incident like that today before this race is over.
Especially down into turn number 1. Turn number 1 is that downhill right-hander. You tend to lose grip on the drop of gradient, and so that definitely is going to happen. It's not going to be the last time it happens here, especially with Aaron Gearing's last performance there. And fortunately, like you say, that could have been a lot worse. It could end in the wall. It could end in the gravel. And like we've seen, 2 drivers already getting stuck in this wet gravel. And so Aaron Gearing probably only lost about 6 seconds there. So that's really not a lot in the rain.
No,
and he can continue moving here and pushing up. Yeah, especially with all the incidents that we've seen here tonight. Micah Dickinson, there's that beautiful livery that we were speaking about. Hayden Young, though, my word, this guy's sponsors are going to be angry, Jim. We haven't seen him on camera in a long time. He's up in front, 9 seconds ahead of this entire grid. Exactly.
You want to get on camera,
so send it,
be in a competitive battle out there, and you'll get plenty of airtime. But I just wanted to give a little shout out real quick to a couple of our channel sponsors here while we're watching some of the action, getting ready for people to start thinking about maybe some undercutting on these pit stops or whatever. We've been blessed to have a couple of channel sponsors here in addition to obviously the league sponsors, but Digital Race Engineer has been a tremendous supporter of this channel since day one. I used Digital Race Engineer. I've been a 2-year subscriber now. I do use the paid version. I love it. And I approached them about letting us give away some free, year-long memberships, as prizes in these leagues, and he agreed. And I tell you what, we don't get paid anything. If you click the link below, they have a free version. It's way better than Crew Chief. just go check them out. You know, I got so frustrated with Crew Chief that I started looking for an alternative. And to be honest with you, it was the spotting on Crew Chief that was killing me. You know, it's talking about, you know, come on, you could do better. And, you know, when you're passing people, it just doesn't, you know, it doesn't really make sense what it says sometimes, and it gets weird. So I went looking for a better version and found one. And that's how I ended up with Digital Race Engineer. You can control your entire car by vocal commands. Everything from, I want to do a 2-tire stop, I want fuel only, I want to raise the track bar, the anti-roll bar, lower the anti-roll bar, you know, or stiffen, or what, you know, I mean, any of that stuff. Everything on the car you can control by vocal commands. You don't have to take a hand and adjust a knob on the wheel or anything. It's crazy. Check them out.
And we know with the increasing complexity of sim racing that new things get added, and sometimes your hardware tends to fail in terms of how many buttons you've got.
Right.
And so one thing you can always rely on is your voice, because you can say as many things as you need to, and you can program as many things as you want. So if you're in that dire situation, I know I've been in it before, where you've run out of buttons.
Well,
Digital Race Engineer is your solution.
With all of the adjustments that we can make on these cars now, don't have enough buttons. And then you could put the buttons for the things you need, like flashing your lights in multi-class racing, or, you know what I mean? Or sports car racing.
Basically the quick, like a hotkeys, the things that are needed
push to pass
immediately.
If you're driving a Formula car, you know, those are the things.
But one thing that you mentioned, which is huge, which actually has caused incidents out on track, like we saw just before. Yeah, that's Pasta. Raul Pasta has moved down, and he was leading the Pro-Ams, and he's completely lost it coming out of 130R, and seems to have gone backwards of track, not stopping himself fast enough. And yeah, that's one way to tear up the backside of.
I don't think.
No, I definitely don't think so. So, well, yeah, or possibly, but just
look, his back tire, he's locked there. But then he's letting it roll off track.
He just kept going. Yeah, he just let it roll.
Wow. I mean, he was third overall.
That actually links. That links perfectly
overall
to my point. That incident could have been caused by trying to navigate his pit window in his black box. Now, that could have been done with your voice in Digital Race Engineer, right? So don't be messing up in the race by trying to fiddle with your lap times and your fuel that you need to put in. When you've got something that you can use your voice, and you can continue focusing on the road up ahead and all your drivers. So thanks again to the amazing sponsors. You've also got a great discount down there below for the Roasted Records team. And roastedrecord.com, use your code SIM20 for 20% off your order. And trust me, you want some of those beans, especially for the Coffee Cup League, nice and early in the morning. You do not want to be under focused for something like this with so much up to grab at the end of the season. So great stuff from all of our sponsors at the bottom. We obviously also then got all the amazing sponsors here at the Old Guy Racing League in the top right-hand side. Laurie's Locks currently featuring in your top right-hand side. And then obviously the Roasted Record being one of the pinnacle ones here. Great stuff for them to be involved in. You know, in a multiple series that we've watched over and spoken about, the Roasted Record has gotten themselves involved. Yes. There's a bit of a replay, though. This is with Gelasuns. Yeah, just happened up Dunlop, just up towards the left-hand, coming up to Degner. He's lost it, but again, not bad at all.
No, and he didn't even lose the lead in the AMs, it doesn't look like. So that probably closed it up a little bit. It did. As you can see now, Chris Slane is only a second or so behind him there, right there on him. So now he's got him in sight, got him in his crosshairs, so to speak.
Yeah, in his crosshairs. We're probably not in the correct game title here for crosshairs, but definitely the analogy is there of the crosshair. The drive up in front is what you're wanting to get past.
Target on his back now.
Exactly, yeah. He's got the target on his back. That's the primary quest that you're chasing. No side quests allowed right now for the likes of the driver spectating, Mr. Chris Slane. And he's chasing onto the backside of Gelasuns, and now 1 second between the two. So even though Gelasuns didn't lose the lead of the AM class, unfortunately he's lost that cushion that he developed. And so all that free space he had behind has now been eradicated as a little bit of a mounting on the curb there. Oh, Chris Slane! And the puddle has completely thrown the backside of the car off. That was complete loss of grip on the rear there for Chris Slane. And into the wall he will go. Unfortunately, that's the commentator's curse. My bad. I was talking about him, and off into the wall he goes.
Yeah, well, I had the camera on him, and, so... I feel guilty as well there, but I mean, the commentator curse isn't real, but it certainly feels like it is sometimes. Again, he doesn't seem to be horribly damaged. I'm going to go back inside. His wheels straight?
Yeah, no, I don't think so, hey? No, the wheel's straight.
I mean,
that looked like a hard hit, though. That's the confusing part.
But, it usually you'll see body parts flying. I mean, literally, you didn't see anything happen to that car there when it hit.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. But, I thought for sure it was torn up. At the speed he hit the wall at, I thought for sure he was done. Uh-oh.
Oh, black flag penalty there from Bailey. Yeah.
He come in pit road? No.
No, it looks like it might be track limits or possible incident points from having contact with others. Yeah, regardless, it's incident points as an overall category, but what caused it could have either been off track or contact with another car, but we're not 100% sure about that one. Now, onto the backside, it is Yellowsuits, and he's, no, this is not Yellowsuits, apologies, Dukowski, as he's going very slow behind in the front of Chris Slane as we've there's Yellowsuits now. So Yellowsuits has given away the lead of this race to Chris Slane. Not too sure where the switch up happened there, but Yellowsuits in the Degner chicanes just started over slowing completely, and Slane on the outside lines just got a neat overtake onto that one. So 28 minutes in now, we'll be seeing those pit stops happening soon. Here's Yellowsuits though, and this is where we saw him losing all that speed yet again to Chris Slane, and we lost it on the inside curb. I did mention at the start when we were doing the track map that inside curb is very volatile, especially in the wet, and that's exactly why we see Yellowsuits facing sideways on track, and then he rejoins just in front of Dukowski and Slane. That could have been a bad incident, but thankfully they've managed to avoid it. Yeah,
I'll tell you what, I mean, we're going to see that all day long, and don't be surprised, as we are starting to see, like this Cody Bont is in pits now. Is he? Yeah,
he's up on the jacks as well.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Meatball flag for Sean Riley. What happened to Sean Riley now? So he's just been towed back. He was the Porsche that just appeared behind Cody Bont, but he's been towed back after an incident he's had out on track. Here is Riley. So this is coming down into turn number one. Was there an error in turn number one that we said could have been worse?
Oh, it's already wiggling.
And there he's already losing it. Oh, on the braking, he actually loses it. That is a massive hit.
That had to be a brake bias issue there. He had his brake bias too far back, and as soon as he hit the brakes there, the rear end got unsettled in that wet, and that was it. It went around on him. You could see it. The second he hit the brakes, that thing started wiggling.
Soon as he, you could even see it before slightly. It's like as he started hitting those brakes, the car just begins to micro wiggle. And I mean, even if you go on board here, you'll watch the steering input as he tries to keep control. So the wiggles start there. You already see it on the white line as he begins to just slowly start to brake. And oh my goodness, that is a massive hit. Yeah, that would be a medical assessment. If that was real life, he'd be ripped out of the car by the medics, and they'd have to assess him because
it always cracks me up in these European races. They pull you out of the car from medical, take you to the medical center, and they jam you in the back seat of a passenger car. Why don't they have something a little larger to put you in? Literally you get out and you get in the back seat of a passenger car. I mean, you got full race gear on with a helmet and a Hans device and all of that, and then they throw you in the back seat of an Aston Martin or something and haul you to the medical center.
It's like, hey man, you get to drive luxury to the hospital. It's like, we don't have the equipment we need for you, but at least you get to drive luxury. That's a bit of a confusing one if you have to ask me. Why is there not a good old box ambulance waiting on the sidelines?
As my son called it, the boo-boo bus.
Yeah, exactly. The boo-boo bus is a great terminology for it, as it takes you to feel all better. But 31 minutes in now, and as you can see, the pit stops have not started flying in like we normally see at the 30-minute mark. The tires and the fuel are definitely managing a lot longer, as on the inside line now comes the attack from Aaron Gearing, and that's just on the inside of Vladislav Poklonsky as he tries to keep on going just behind in the Aston Martin. No, definitely not. He's still on the backside here, and Poklonsky will be trying to keep on the backside of Gearing through the next couple of corners in the Aston Martin. And great livery as well for him. He's definitely hinting at a longer weekend, if you have to ask me.
You got the Guinness beer, and you got the kind of shark mouth on there. I wouldn't. It's not not exactly like a dinosaur mount. That's more of like what you see on a fighter plane back in the World War II days.
Yeah, exactly. Warthog.
Yep, old Vlad. When I saw his name, the first thing I could think of was just calling him Vlad. Which if that was my name, I absolutely would go by Vlad. Man, look at Gearing.
Yeah, I think that would be the easiest one.
Gearing is up 25 spots, and we've seen him.
And that's after spinning as well. Yeah. That's after spinning as well. And he is your highest mover currently in the biggest mover chart right now. 25 positions gained since the start of this race. That is all the way from the back up into the top 10 and only 2 positions away from breaking into the top 5 now. So he is doing a phenomenal job. As in the background there, Poklonsky is fighting hard there with not 100% too sure who that is. That's Lovings actually.
Yeah.
So Bradley Lovings just getting up ahead of Poklonsky, who they'll be fighting with for the next couple of laps. And it looks like Poklonsky is starting to struggle there a bit. He's lost 2 positions in the last lap for some reason, and not sure if he'll be making that pit stop soon. I see O'Brien is into the pits now, down in 20th position. So maybe we'll be starting to see a couple of those pit stops coming in, get those fuel tanks nice and primed for the remainder of this race. About 20 or so minutes left to go here, and a very short sprint race of what the drivers have got left. Most of the race has already been completed. We're well past halfway mark, and so this is how the drivers will continue going around. Does anyone come into the pit lane? Is it going to be Poklonsky? Does he come in? He does not. He stays out. So he looks slightly slow, and he's losing a lot of time currently to Tidwell and Gearing.
Yeah, we'll throw the pit window timer down here in the bottom of the screen so you can see what people are doing when they come into pits and their time. For those of you that aren't familiar, the time you see here on the left-hand side is their total time from entrance to exit of pit road, and the one inside the parentheses marker there that just said pit, that lights up and shows you the time that he's actually spent, that the driver's actually spent stopped in his pit box. So you can kind of get a gauge on that, on how your favorite driver is doing, or how their close competition to them is doing, or any of that type stuff.
Yeah, nice little metric to see at the bottom side. You don't get to see that at all the online virtual racing you get to see. So got to say, Motormouth Broadcasting is on top with the overlays that you get to see about driver information right now.
I got plenty of information for you.
Exactly.
I can give you all the information you need.
all the information. Soon our virtual grandstand can start commentating just based on the information given.
This is a graphic I want to see right here. I think you'll get a kick out of this too.
All right, let's have a look. There we go, position by lap, and there we see it. So on the left-hand side is
that, of course, is for Aaron
position.
Gearing.
Yeah,
you see, he started the race on lap 0 there at the very back of the field, and just look at that slow progression, man. He is through. We're at lap 16 now, 15 now, which is where we're at. Yeah, and look at him. He's just.
You can see you got a great jump on the launch of this race. I mean, from lap 1 to lap 3, I mean, he gained basically half the positions, up 16 positions, in 3 laps. I mean, that is crazy work currently from Aaron Gearing, and great to see him working further up. Now 3 seconds up the field is Tidwell, and that's going to be a break into our top 6, and hopefully up into the top 5 with Kirali up in 5th. Remember, after the pit stops, there will be a bit of a slight change of things, and we'll see if drivers are going to undercut or overcut. I do not like it when Jim says it means he's seen something out on track. And Cody Bont, has he made the same error, Jim? I think he keeps
literally
going slow. Indeed it is.
Same spot. He stops. He almost comes to a stop there every time. I hate the way it tricks our software, but now that we've tuned in twice to that same exact corner, it clearly says that he's struggling there. That corner does not agree with him. In the current situation, under these conditions, because that's twice he's done the same thing. And the same thing could be said, if I click on this Dudkowski and it's in the same spot, I'm going to die. Okay.
Doesn't look like it. This is Casio triangles. And similar thing to what Horvaton did a couple of laps ago, just missing the braking. But he was able to wrap it around and stay on the track. Overton took a little bit of a beach dive on the sand there.
If
and
continuing would have been sliding by somebody else again, that would have been just epic.
Dude, if it is another near miss, I swear we got to start giving him like bonus points. You know, like in like the good old skating games, like when you chain a bunch of combos together, you get more points. Yet Dukowski just keeps getting more points for chaining together a couple of close missed calls. And yeah, so currently he's the highest on the leaderboard for close misses. You know, and I don't think 100%. Anybody else is able to contest him. There we see Du is into the pit lane now, down in 27th position. Charles Du, indeed, and you can see that pit light is flashing because he has not entered his actual box yet. So 13 seconds currently in the pit lane, and when that pit light flashes, there you see it's no longer flashing. So he's in his box right now, and that is where he'll sit. And that pit will eventually change to a figure, as we see Aaron Gearing a little bit off track there as he's trying to get closer to Tidwell.
I'm curious as to why it's not changed to the time. It normally does change to the time. All right, I'm gonna do this real quick.
There it is.
Okay.
There it is.
So
Time's changed.
It shows
Changes
once he
at the
leaves the pit box. Okay. I thought it showed.
Exactly.
I thought it ticked while it was in there. Maybe not though. This right here gives you a great example. I'm actually going to switch to this. Let's see where we at. To this camera. This is straight driver's eye view right here. As you get behind someone, you can see the rain. We have no chance this rain's letting up. It's it's not good.
No, definitely not.
Look at how the vision disappears.
Yeah, all you can see is the brake lights, and the Lamborghini, one of the cars that actually don't have the biggest brake lights. It's literally got two small lines on each side. And so that is the only view that Aaron Gearing's got of that Lamborghini up in front when all that mist gets sprayed on his windshield. And so that's why the wet weather driving definitely gets a bit technical for all of these cars, with the mist being the main factor. You'll see with the camera aperture, especially from our broadcast camera, sometimes it looks like the rain is completely subsided, but then you go to a wider aperture camera, and that's somewhere out on track, and you will eventually see that there is rain pouring all over. And it is indeed not, like Jim says, it is not stopping for the rest of this race. Curtis Matthews, another one of our VR drivers, turning into the right-hand side and almost making contact with the Porsche up in front. And that's where the incident came in on the replay system. It's because he tried to go slow around the outside. And fortunately, he does not lose it. I mean, this guy looks like such a legend on his camera. Look at it. He's so unfazed by anyone else. And just trying to work back up to the top.
So for those of you who are thinking about VR or whatever, I've been doing a lot of research into VR, headsets. I've got one, but I want a newer, fancier one. He is driving with the Beyond, big screen Beyond 2. It's one of those very small, extremely small headsets with the OLED lenses in it, and I think it's 4K per eye or something. They're quite impressive and very light. They weigh like 110 grams or something, super light. Not like the old big bulky, VR headsets that you think about. But then, just for the sake of showing this, let's see, where's our buddy at? Bradley Lovings. Look at this.
My word, look at that.
He is in a motion rig in VR. He is getting after it, man. And look,
this is the epitome of sim racing.
This is right. This is it right here. This is everything you could want. But look how the car is bouncing and moving around, and you look at it on track, and it's like nothing's happening. And let's do this.
It is crazy work.
Let's do this, right?
There you can kind of see a bit of the shaking.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Well, actually, if I put it on, that's the camera we want for the shaking. But, I mean, what an experience. I don't know that would make you faster, if I'm being honest, because,
it's purely for an experience sake.
But doesn't it make you want to do it? I so want
100%. And I mean, fortunately, I've been graced with the opportunity to use this at any time I want, because some of other in-person opportunities I've got, I do some stuff at a real-life in-person centers, and they've got a couple of these guys. And from personal experience, it is a great immersion tool. It really does make you feel like you're driving the real car. However, it is not going to make you that much faster. The speed comes in with practice and getting to know your equipment. So if you race every single day in every single league in this motion rig, 100% you're going to get faster in it. You're going to start to feel the niches. You're going to really start to find, the specific points that you're wanting to break at, where you want things to be felt. You're going to start to, ease out and, find out a couple of the movements and, where the butt kickers kick in. And, it all is going to come down ultimately to that really cool experience. And hey, if you've got guests over, you'll be one of the coolest guys in the neighborhood if you've got this thing in your room.
I can promise you, with the cost that rig runs, by the time you put all that,
you don't want no one running on this.
Ain't none of my neighbors getting in there. I can promise you that.
I think they
Y'all
can sign
get the
a liability
Logitech
document.
wheel on the desk downstairs. Y'all can drive on that one. You're not getting in this deal. I mean, but look at him, man. I mean, he is. And again, for VR users, talking about digital race engineer like we were earlier. Absolutely digital race engineer and the voice commands, because you can't see the buttons on your wheel. Now of course you get to know where they're at and all of that, but you don't have to. That's the beautiful part about digital race engineer. You can literally adjust every single thing from your voice commands only. And for VR users, I think you'd be crazy not to give it a try. You know what I mean? And if you are interested, if you click the link down below, it just lets them know that we're talking about them and promoting them as a business, and we would appreciate that. Like I said, it doesn't pay us anything. You're not obligated. It's a free. You can try the free version. If you do sign up for the paid version, they have some really cool extra features that I won't get into a bunch of them, but one of them is it has a very, very, very accurate AI tire wear estimator, which in iRacing you don't get your tire wear like you do in some other sims. Like in Le Mans Ultimate, you instantly know where your tires are the whole time you're out on track. You do not in iRacing. You're guessing at what percentage of use you've used on them, and this tire estimator will tell you, and it is very accurate where your tires are at. So another cool feature. That is one of the paid features, but still, it's worth checking out the free version.
Yeah, even if it's just to give it a go, it's
right.
going to be something that you get to experience. That's exactly. It's free, so there's no excuses there. We'll get your live timings up on the left yet again. It seems like we've got the replay interface on for now, but we're definitely not. There we go. 44 minutes in. We've actually only got 10 minutes left of racing here. And Gearing has gotten himself into the top 6. He's made his way ahead of Bont and Tidwell. And now chasing onto the backside of Purser. That is a far jump, though, to get into the top 5. 7.2 seconds that he's got to try and fight with. And as you can see just behind, he does have, I think that's a back marker McLaren, actually. Indeed, it is. It's no one directly behind him. Directly behind him is Bont. And Bont is about 4.5 seconds that he's got to work for to try and get back up to Gearing. So
that Cheney took the lead here because of this incredibly short pit stop. He took only 10 seconds.
Oh wow! I didn't even notice this.
Fuel. So
I think we might have missed a couple of the pit stops while we were talking over Lovings.
Yes. Well, yeah, they were scrolling on the bottom, and we missed that 10-second pit stop there. So what I'm going to do is, let me see. A lot of those guys, I mean, he just pitted, though. I mean, he literally just pitted on the previous lap.
So Cheney coming in with a bit of an overcut then on Young. And now Young actually getting overtaken by Smalley. Young's gone off. Young has definitely gone off. He's down 4 seconds already. He's dropping drastically. What has happened to Young? And there we see him. He's just recovered from something, it seems, as Smalley's gotten ahead of him. And this is a 10-second gap between the two of them. So here he comes down into turn number 1. I believe that's Smalley just behind him. And coming through Snake section, there he goes, losing the rear. And unfortunately loses out there to Smalley and onto the grass. That's all just going to contribute to his slower lap time. And he'll have to try and get back up. Keep going for these final 8 or so minutes. And then he gets to see the checkered flag line. But slightly unfortunate.
That was the second incident. Look at this.
Oh, there's the first of why Cheney got over. Okay, so Cheney didn't get the position in the pit stop, which is why I was confused. So Young seems to have had a bit of an unfortunate one towards the end here, possibly on new tires though. Not too sure if they're a little bit cold.
Not
or,
on a 10-second. Oh no, he did. I'm sorry, Hayden Young did take 21.
Oh,
seconds.
meatball for Curtis.
What? Oh no, Curtis. All right, let's go back to live.
Meatball for Curtis Matthews. So Jeremy Cheney's back up to P1. We'll try and get that replay quickly for you of Curtis Matthews.
Yep.
And not too sure what's happened to him. We'll have to see. As meatball flag yet again for our current AM leader. And looks like it's possibly down into turn number 1. So we'll have a bit of a look-see. Let's see. Oh, same issue. Yeah, same issue. And into the wall he goes. That is a huge hit. You can see that back right is completely off the swivel. And yeah, massive hit there for Curtis Matthews. Yeah, he's going to have to return to the pit lane. Indeed, that's what he does. Hands are off the steering wheel, as you saw there in the bottom left-hand side, and just sitting in the pit lane waiting for that car to be repaired.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's, I mean, he's luckily does have a pretty substantial point lead, so it's going to, you know, help him. You know, he's going to stay in the lead, I'm sure, but, you know, it may give some of his chasers a chance to close that gap up a little bit, especially Sones, who's leading the AMs and running 15th overall right now.
Yeah, absolutely for Sones up in 15th. And this is going to be the final pressure moments for all of our drivers because we're approaching that 50-minute mark, and that represents 5 minutes left of racing here for the third final round. Back on board there with Bradley Lovings. And now he's got an objective up in front of him, chasing down on Corrali. It's not going to be for class position, but it is still for overall position, and that's going to be one more point that he gets to his name. And so the driver in the full motion rig trying his absolute best, doing everything he can to keep that Audi nice and controlled as he rounds the first corner. Up to Snake he will go. You can see slightly faster there than Corrali. It is Pro versus Pro-Am currently for the likes of Bradley Lovings. He's trying to get up to the other Bradley, and then it'll be a battle of the Bradleys coming to the final 5 minutes if he can get ahead. It'll also be the battle of the only two mid V10s on the iRacing platform in GT3s. It's the Lamborghini versus the Audi, and the Lamborghini essentially being the replacement of the Audi in most series that have disbanded the Audi, because they're essentially the same car, pretty much the same chassis, same engine, just slightly different body, obviously, and different brand. But Bradley Lovings now just trying to get ahead of Corrali and then up to Tidwell. We'll have to see if he's going to achieve this in the last 6 minutes, or else will he be disbanded, and down to 10th position he will stay. Poklonsky also has unfortunately dropped off on this top 10, 14 seconds down for the Ukrainian driver, and down to 11th he will be sitting probably for the remainder of the race.
Yeah, that's of course we're getting close now. We're only about 6 minutes away. We've only got a couple of really close battles on track, but I tell you what we do have trouble all over the damn place. That's gearing.
Well, yeah, there's more. Oh, that's a back wing.
Yep.
And as we talk about trouble, there's Charles Dew getting himself a black flag, but Gearing losing a rear wing on these final. Oh, he's completely gone.
Yeah,
that's not even a rear wing.
No, that's
yeah,
bad.
No, that is a terribly bad. So there goes the chances of top 5, unfortunately, for Aaron Gearing. That's going to be a long drop from the top here, and he's going to definitely have to come and get that into the pit lane, even though there's only 7 minutes left to go. You can see he can barely up. There comes the second.
Yeah, he's got
there comes the second, and I think. Yeah, here comes the toe. Someone in the background as well.
Cody Bont here.
Again,
he's overcooking.
Jim,
same spot.
He's same thing.
Exact thing. Yeah, I'm going to stop clicking on him just because of that. No, I mean, but again, it just
there
goes
we go,
to
Jim.
show
We've got someone in our virtual grandstand. Symbolia will be trying Digital Race Engineer.
Oh, cool.
They've clicked on it.
Awesome.
And they will be trying the platform. Let us know how it goes next week when we go live again. Then you can give us some feedback, a bit of a week of testing of Digital Race Engineer, and then you can let us know how our awesome sponsors
like I
are
said,
performing.
It's not even, it's not about anything, but I approached them because I believed in his product. And he's a small guy who builds, like you can message him, and like I had an issue with it recognizing my Southern American slang, voice. And so it wasn't recognizing all of my commands. And so I sent him an email, and he's like, here, do this. And I had to give him a little voice recording. Oh, my goodness. What in the world?
Charles O'Brien almost slapped into the side of someone there.
Wow.
Not too sure who that was out on track.
And he literally said, here, click on this, and it'll send me a little recording. And then he messaged you back and change this one setting. And that was it. It was perfect after that. Never had another issue with it recognizing my voice.
It's great to see, though, when like a company has proper customer support as
and
well. That's when you want to. I mean, exactly. When you want to give your investment when people.
That's why I approached him, because I just was so impressed by the fact that, the guy who created this software, who's working on it every day, he listens to your suggestions as customers, and he's implemented so much stuff, like Le Mans Ultimate was not included in the software when I first signed up. And, now you've got support for Le Mans Ultimate and also ACC if you're still playing that. Well, I tell you what, Raul Pasta here, it went from great to horrible for him today.
Oh, he lost it again, coming up to Dunlop, it seems, and planted in the middle of the track. Fortunately, he gets out of the way, but almost beaching himself as well. He's got to watch out for that gravel. It's not playing friendly in today's racing at Suzuka. And fortunately for him, he's able to continue going. He doesn't lose out too much there. But we are approaching that final 2 minutes now, Jim. This is where it gets to those last dire moments of overtakes needing to be made by our drivers if they've got it in them to make it towards the end. And that is going to be the question. Brian Dukowski goes up on the inside line, though, of Chris Slane, and looks like he's going to manage it. Two cars with pretty similar liveries of nice vibrant greens and blues and purples. And it is Dukowski who finds the inside line and moves up ahead of Slane. Coming through the Degners and moving up towards the hairpin now. Almost, he almost lost it on the exit there. Those wheels started spinning a little bit on the wet curbs. And Jim is saying, again. Bradley Tidwell gets a slowdown. Gearing still in the pit lane. What has Jim seen? We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, comes the replay. It is Tidwell. And there you can see he's managing, and there goes the replay. So the camera not synced with the replay, it's synced with live.
Yeah. And
just losing it into turn number 1. And still so much focus being shown in his face. You can tell he has not given up yet in that Lamborghini.
No.
He's going to bring it across the line and make sure that it finishes this race.
I mean, to be fair, Loving's got by him now. That's a good friendly rivalry there. They have a thing. Oh, he just blew by. Oh, look, they're laughing now.
He almost lost it.
Those two guys are good friends, too. They race together a lot. Man, you can just see it, though. That Lamborghini is just angry, man.
It's struggling, yeah.
I mean, the front end's twitching, the back end's twitching on that thing. Golly. Talk about a car not being planted in the track. That is it. All right, let's see. Where's our leader at?
Exactly. Seems like it's common between our mid-engine V10s. Unfortunately, the Audi faces similar issues with it, and that's why most don't pick it up, just due to its complexity. And I remember even in ACC when I drove the Audi, it was one of the more difficult cars. But if you did get all of its weird quirks and you were able to fend off of them, there was quite a quick car out on track. You just needed to find the correct spots. I know in real life they get raced a lot, so bit of a difference here in terms of the sim. But we're approaching that final 10 seconds of racing now. The question is, where's Jeremy Cheney? And there you see him now. He just come through the checkered flag line, and so we're going to be going through for one more lap. This is officially white flag territory now. 5.7 seconds ahead of Smalley. He cannot afford to make a mistake here, or else he will lose the lead of this race. And so Smalley will be trying to chase on and watch for any accidents that come up in front. It is indeed the Simpsons car, the nice pink Simpsons car behind of Smalley, chasing onto the front of the purple car of Cheney as he keeps on going around. So nice two vibrant colors up in front that lead the pack, the Porsche pack over here. And then Young, Horverton, Purser, Bont all behind trying to chase on as well. But it is coming through the final couple of corners here for Jeremy Cheney. We'll do a bit of an onboarding here in his final couple of laps. Out of the Degners, he goes up towards the hairpin now as he chases onto the backside of Dukowski, but obviously that's a lapped car. He is up in front all by himself by 5.2 seconds, and Smalley is slowly but surely catching up here, but I don't think it's going to be enough in this final lap. Down the run of this semi-slight back straight towards the Spoon curve, and underneath the Suzuka Circuit banner, up at the top, he will run. Coming down towards Spoon curve, where it can get technical if you're not careful. So please, for the love of finishing this race up in front, Jeremy Cheney, do not make errors now. It is now or never to come across the line in P number 1. And so heading down onto that back straight now. the official back straight as he comes around. You can see the back markers. And Gearing didn't even go into the pit lane, I don't think. There he is on the left-hand side, still with that broken back wing. So, bit of a confuser there. He stayed out. I thought I saw him on the pit window staying in, unless he's lost it somewhere else again. Not 100% sure, but here the focus is all on Jeremy Cheney. Through 130R he goes. Absolutely no errors being made. Coming through Casio Triangle, the final technical part of this track before the home send. Second curb over Casio Triangle and into last curve to round it off onto the main straight. And it is Jeremy Cheney after a great pit stop strategy and after keeping consistent. P1 for Jeremy Cheney, followed by Smalley just a bit further behind in the Porsche. And the Porsche's really dominated in today's racing. Young will take just behind in third position. 11 seconds of a gap. There's Smalley coming across the line. And here comes Young, the driver who's unfortunately had 2 spins today, and that's ruined his win. Down to third position he will go. Horvaton comes across in fourth with Purser down in fifth. And that is your top 5 finishing off. There's Bont, your leader of the Pro-Ams, who's also just stayed consistent. He's been all over the replay radar, but for all the wrong reasons. He's had 0 incidents yet tonight, and he's managed it all the way down. Starts at 6th, he ends in 6th, but the more important thing is he's the lead of the Pro-Ams, and he takes it by an absolute storm. Jelasuns, our leader of the AMs, still trying to wrap it around track here, and will eventually come across the line to signal the win in the green class.
Been a very interesting race here, man. You know, we got pretty much exactly what we thought we were going to have. You know,
absolutely
good racing, but some, you know, this is a tough track, and you throw water into the mix, and it gets even tougher. So, yeah, really tough conditions. Hats off to these guys, because this is the kind of stuff that you can get terribly frustrated in quickly.
Yeah, indeed. If you do not get the rain right, the rain will make sure that you go right into the wall. And we've seen that tonight. Micah Dickerson in the final corner loses it now. And that is unfortunately, if he doesn't recover that fast enough, Pasta's going to get ahead. But what a great recovery from Dickerson. He lost it and was able to convert it into the next corner to continue the flow. And so he will fortunately keep third position in the Pro-Am slots. He almost loses it to Raul Pasta, who you see just in the background there. And Jelasuns taking the win for the AM class. What a great move he's been able to do here to keep himself in the running. Unfortunately, Curtis Matthews was not there to oppose. As we know, Curtis Matthews and Jelasuns have been quite the 2 competitors this season so far. But that is officially your racing done and dusted for the 3rd round. And what a great race it has been here at a very, very wet Suzuka.
Yeah, well, a lot of fun, though. You know what? I really enjoyed this race. You know, I enjoy watching challenging. I wouldn't want to watch a challenging condition race every week, you know, but it is fun to. Well, I guess that's the sadist in me a little bit. It's fun to watch people struggle a little bit out there, you know. You know, but yeah, what a fun event that was. All right, let's get a look at. Let's tell you what. Let's do this by class. Let's start off with the GT3 AMs, and we'll go through the results like that. Let's take a look at these incident limits over here, too. Oh, my goodness. Look, there's a few of them piled up over there.
Yep, piled up on the right-hand side, indeed. It is. Jelasuns almost gets himself another black flag. That was a couple of incident points away from calling it. And so Jelasuns will take your pole for the AM class. Chris Lane sits in 2nd, with JT Sawyer taking 3rd position. Charles O'Brien takes 4th, with Robert Sackett taking 5th. Mitchell Williams will take 6th, with John Gardner. Curtis Matthews down in 8th. And unfortunately for David Stoops, it seems the Beaver Juice has not been able to help him yet today. And the boost did not apply correctly. Down in 9th position, he will sit for today's running. Over to our Pro-Am class, though. Yeah.
No, I was going to say we've got to pick our Beaver of the week for next week, too. We'll do that in a few, though.
We do. And unfortunately, it can't be David Stoops again. He's unfortunately out of the qualifying bracket there. So we'll pick someone else coming to the end of our interviews. But it is Cody Bont up in front in the Triad Motorsports team. Paul Corrali has done an incredible job on the Mobile 1 BMW to get himself into 2nd. Michael Dickerson just keeps 3rd position after a rear end loss coming through Casio Triangles. Raul Pasta, Preston Hathaway takes 5th, with Heath Olinger and Wesley Smith down in 6th and 7th. Brian Dukowski will take 8th, with Charles Dew and Pernell Hanault getting quite a lot of incidents down in 9th and 10th. And then Ken Cloden and Will Bailey in 11th and 12th position for the Pro-Am class. Moving over to your final class of today's racing. It is your Pro class, with Jeremy Cheney claiming the win here by quite a long mile. 5.4 seconds to Stephen Smalley, with 16 seconds to Hayden Young. Taking third position here with 9 incident points, Jeremy Cheney and Stephen Smalley, only 2 here, so they really were consistent in the rain. Damian Horvaton, after a couple of spins and loose ends here today, takes 4th position with Alan Purser taking 5th. It is then Bradley Tidwell and Bradley Lovings in 6th and 7th position. Vladislav Poklonsky in 8th. I've said it so well the entire night, and then I messed it up here. And Aaron Gehring down in 9th with 20 incident points to his name. Unfortunately, not the race he would have wanted at the end of it. Sean Riley down in 10th with Sebastian Fack in 11th position. Jim, we've got quite a stack of people wanting to get interviewed. I'll give you the honors of picking off first.
Let's see. Let's start off with our class winners if we've got them in there. Who was our AM winner? Is
Yellow Suns is not here, unfortunately.
Oh, he's not. Okay.
He's not here. So we've got second. We've got first in the Pro-Am class.
Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that first.
Do we? No, I don't think we do either. Pro-Am class winner was
Cody Bond. He doesn't want to talk to us. He's in there.
Yeah. Cody Bond is here. Yep. Right. Cody Bond is here. Yep. Dragging him down for you, Jim.
Cody, Jim Cunningham, how you doing, man?
Not too bad, man. How are you?
Good. Yeah, interesting. I'm actually angry with you. You'll see it when you watch the replay back of the race. You seem to have, and I don't know what corner that was. What corner was that, Tristan? You probably know. Was that
it's the hairpin corner? So
the spoon.
Yeah, it's the hairpin corner, just coming out of Degner's.
Yeah, so you seem to take that really wide and super slow several times during the race, and it kept triggering that you had an incident, and I would click on you, and it was the exact same thing every time. The line that you took through there was really slow, and so I kept thinking you were having an incident, so I'd click on you. I think you were doing that just for airtime, but
dude, how'd you know? I know,
yeah.
That's the only way you could see me.
I figured you out. Yeah, that's one way to do it for sure. No, congratulations, man. Tough conditions out there. Tough track to start with anyway. Suzuka's no joke, and you throw these conditions at it. You did a great job tonight. I mean, tough conditions out there.
Yeah, I only ran like 20 laps on this track, and I figured it was going to be a nightmare driving it, so I didn't practice too much and just rather feel it out, because rain, you never know what you're going to get, so tried to stay consistent, stay clean as much as possible, but again, another win.
Yeah, I mean, a good one. This is a tough, well-earned victory here. I mean, and you, relatively speaking, you didn't have that many incident points considering the conditions, So you obviously, took it relatively easy, so to speak, But it's good to see that. What are you feeling about next week? How you feel about the Nordschleife?
I don't know if I've completed a clean lap at that place. So, honestly, I was really, really hoping for a good race today. I'm going to show up next week, run it as long as I can, but I'm not hoping for anything promising. I've had a stretch of some good wins here, so I think I'm 4 for 5 in the second half of the season. So, if I don't get one there, oh well. I'm pretty happy with where we are right now.
Yeah, sure, of course you are. This is it's been a good run for you for sure. So. All right, man. Well, congratulations again. And you got anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I'll give one out to my fiance because she always puts up with me racing.
Smart man.
She yells at me occasionally, but, she puts up with it. So, and then I got a buddy, Brett, who used to be in the season as well. He runs laps with me all the time, too. So, but yeah, that's about it, and I appreciate you guys being here every Sunday as well.
Yeah, we love it. This has been my home since this was the very first league I ever joined on iRacing. So when the opportunity came to broadcast it, I jumped at the chance. Like I said, it's a great group of guys in this league, and anybody that's looking for a home, this is definitely that kind of place. It's more than just a place to go run races. So.
Oh yeah, you got skill levels.
Freddie, before you leave, someone in the virtual grandstand just said your wife must be standing right behind you. Is this true?
Yeah, she actually was just letting out the dogs. So, yeah,
That's
they know.
Funny. Yeah,
They know.
Yeah, good, smart man. I like it. That's good. Good
Yeah.
going. All right, buddy. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you next week too. Hopefully, one way or the other. I think we'll probably be talking to you. So we'll see you next week.
Awesome. You guys have a great one.
All right, buddy. You too.
Have a good one. Have a good one.
Pick yourself one.
I just realized that this was the penultimate round. I looked at the calendar wrong, and I thought this was the third last. That this is the second last penultimate. We head to Nürburgring next week, which is great to see. But Jelle Soons has officially joined us in the virtual grandstand in the commentary box. Jelle, welcome into the commentary box here at Wow, I love stuttering at this time of the afternoon. Hey, Motormouth Broadcasting. I mean, talk us through that race. A bit of a interesting one with Curtis Matthews, unfortunately. Not being a bit of a rival here for you today, it seems like you ran away.
Yeah, I had a really great launch of the line. But I had an incident with Bailey, so it was stressed until I saw Gardner and Matthews went off, and I had just clean air, nobody of the amateurs closing. But then had 2 spins. And saw Slane. I thought I lost it until he put it in the wall.
Yeah, I mean, I just talk us through a bit like, yeah, no, absolutely. But just talk us through what the car was feeling like throughout the race. We know the weather was proving quite a bit of a challenge to most of the cars. Obviously, yourself in the Porsche. What was the rear end feeling like all across the wet circuit?
It felt great. It was only on the headpin and the last chicane. I had a bit of oversteer where my rear ends wants to slip, but every time I kept it under control.
Well, great stuff on keeping your car under control. And then obviously, this was the penultimate round. Next week, we head to the final round in the Sunday Coffee Cup League here. And that's going to be your much longer race, obviously the 90-minute race at Nürburgring combined. How are you feeling for that one?
I'm feeling very hopeful because Nürburgring is one of my best tracks. Also one of my most driven tracks.
Well,
so I'm feeling confident for next week.
That's absolutely great to hear the confidence. I know it might be a bit of a scary one to most drivers, with it being tackling the whole of the Nordschleife as well. But fortunately for you, we don't need to worry about that one. Seems like Jelle Soons has completely locked in for this one. But Jelle, is there anybody you'd like to thank or mention before you head out of the commentary box?
The same as always, my whole team, who just keeps helping me and pushing me to get faster.
Incredible stuff. It's always great to give all the team at home a good cheer. But thanks so much for joining us, and hope to see you next week again at the final round.
See you next week.
And that was Mr. Jelle Soons, our Belgium driver, who gets to join us in the commentary box. And I did see their team was cheering over in the virtual grandstand. Very happy to see a Belgium driver taking the win here tonight. Jim, we've also got I believe our race winner, Jeremy Cheney, is here. I'm going to pull him in, and you can have a chat with him.
Jeremy, congratulations, man. Good run.
Thanks, Jim.
That was obviously, it seemed like your pit stop strategy there was the game changer. Really, you really seemed to take a quick, short pit stop there, which closed that gap up tremendously, which obviously allowed you to make the pass for the lead.
Yeah, I was debating whether to take tires or not, and I decided not to, and I saw Hayden come down off the jacks, and we left at like the same time, and I was like, oh, it's on. It's going to take him a couple laps to get those tires warm, so I just got to stretch those legs and see how much of a gap I can pull.
And then
I knew he'd be coming.
And then he had an incident on those cold tires, I believe. He spun it, didn't he? After
coming up the hill.
Yep, he did.
Yep.
Yeah, so
right in front of me.
That was all around a smart move, and I think it was wet enough that the tires probably never got in too much jeopardy out there. It never started to dry, so it never started torturing those tires too bad. There was plenty of water out there to keep them cool.
There was indeed plenty of water. I feel like if it was like 4 or 5 more laps, I probably wouldn't have the tires, and if he wouldn't have spun, he definitely would have got me.
Right.
It's lucked out there.
Yeah, I mean it worked out. It worked out well for you. And then once you got out front, you you ran a clean race, man. I mean, you had 2 incidents the whole race. I'm assuming that was probably 2 little off tracks, more than likely.
Yeah, one was with Lloyd and Hayden.
That's pretty pretty impressive. So considering this track's tough enough, and track limits here are tough, and then on top of that you throw in these brutal conditions. That just really goes to show that you had great control of the Porsche all day today.
Thank you. Yeah, I was talking to my buddy Ryan, who's usually talking to you guys, and he said he's like, just keep it clean, pointing the right way, and you have a good chance of bringing it home today.
Where is he today? He just decided to skip out on us.
He's a pilot, and he's working.
Ah, well,
yes.
At least he's keeping them safe in the air, at least, as opposed to here on the track. So.
That's right.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. He gave you guys a little bit of a chance to close that gap up in the in the point standings a little bit. But he's hopefully he'll be back next week. What do you think about next week? How you feel about the Nords?
I love the Nordschleifer. It's probably my favorite track. So hoping to do well. Ryan's supposed to be here, so he's going to be hard to beat. But a good P2 would be nice to finish out the season.
Yeah, and anything can happen there, man. I mean,
anything can happen.
You're one curb away from death at that place every lap. I mean, there's just those curbs. No, they are. They're so brutal, man.
They are.
No, I know. That's why I'm laughing.
The track is so tough. I love it. It's my favorite track, and I have thousands of laps around that place. I love it, and I mean, it doesn't matter how well you know it. I mean, just the slightest little error and you catch a curb, and next thing you know, you're just eating a guardrail because there's no runoff anywhere at that place, It's
and super narrow, so I got to look out for the lap cars as well.
There's a reason they call it green hell. So, all right, man. So congratulations again. You got anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
You guys, thanks for putting on the broadcast. Great work. Look forward to watching that later. And my buddy Ryan, that's about it.
All right, man. Congratulations again, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Hope to talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Take care.
Here we are. That was our race winner overall.
I know who you're
in
picking.
The pro class
I already know who you're picking, so just go ahead.
Yeah, 100%. You already know who I'm picking. That's the man who buys us drinks from across the world. It's Mr. Damian Overton. Welcome into the commentary box here for Motormouth Broadcasting. And just talk us through that very, very wet Suzuka.
To start off, you said buying drinks. I came home today 7 a.m. because I was out again.
Yes.
Yeah, funny thing you mentioned it. No, so very wet Suzuka. Oh man. So where do I even start? Practice, it was hopeless. I was like 2 seconds behind. Nice angle that you showed there, me going off the track. Beautiful.
Yeah, anything I can do to make you feel good. I go to try to find your best moments. That's what I do.
I mean, that's certainly the best one. But no, practice was hopeless because I was like a second and a half or 2 seconds behind Hayden. But I was like, just head down. Let's do something smart here. And then like opening lap, me and Smalley alongside, and I thought there was gonna be more grip there in the braking zone. There wasn't, so I just went straight off. And after that, I was just try to catch up and do like the biggest undercut ever. So I undercutted from on lap 15. Oh no, even less. On lap 10, I went into the pits. And then came out P20, and when everybody did their pit stops, I came out like P5, and then Purser.
Actually, you pitted on lap 7.
Damn. Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
In fact, when you pitted, my first thought was that something was wrong, and you weren't going to make it from there. But of course, with the fuel situation the way it was, obviously, fuel was, you saved a lot of fuel because of the speeds that we were driving today. That worked out well for you.
Now there was something wrong because I bent the steering.
Oh, you did? Okay. Oh, so that is when you went in. Okay.
So I was like, I gotta go fix this now, and it turned out great.
But you didn't you had a couple other little minor spins out there today, right?
Yeah, aside from lap 1, the one that you shown there, I don't know who that was. Sorry to the BWE guys, I can't remember them. No, I saw him. He was like, I was gonna hit him, so it was either him or me at that point, and I decided to just for it to be me and just go straight instead of hitting him. And there were a couple hiccups here and there, but I think in the end, I pulled it off nicely. It was there was really any like code browns because I'm too tired.
Code browns.
I'm too tired to even have a code brown, man. So I'm just gonna go after this interview. So yeah, but honestly, great race. Waited for rain in this league for a long time. I love it, and Hayden loves it too. We were just talking about it. So I hope more of them to come, but we'll see. They're not usually very popular.
I have to say, for the penultimate race of the season and a rain event at a tough track like Suzuka, to have 32 cars show up is actually quite impressive. I have to say, that's still a great turnout considering the negative conditions and all that. So, and yeah, I just replayed that incident again and showed where you did. you were going to toast him if you didn't go off track there.
Not toast. I was gonna obliterate him. It would be like a bump and it would be obliterate and run. So yeah, but as you said, like good turnout. Honestly, through the years, I mean, I've been here for 2 years, like not as long as you, but and I think like the league as a whole, the drivers have gotten much better to the point that
that's why I don't race anymore because I'm. I was bad. I was bad when they weren't great. So.
Oh no, you were fine. Come on.
Yeah, no, there's a reason I broadcast. Believe me.
You always find a passion somewhere. You're like the Jimmy Spencer of OGRL.
Yes, exactly. I am the Jimmy Spencer. That's probably pretty accurate, actually. Oh, a good analogy there. I would have never guessed that you knew who Jimmy Spencer was. That's pretty funny.
I just heard the story of him, like kicking, like how would I say it nicely? Punching.
Yes.
Punching.
Yes.
Kurt Busch.
He did. Yeah.
And after that, I was like, who is this guy? I gotta know more. So
Yeah. Jimmy Spencer's one of those old school racers. They show up at the track on Friday night or Saturday night, and you get into a fight in the infield at some point in time during the night. That's some old school racers, but that's good fun. Those guys don't exist anymore, though. Everybody does the same now. All right, buddy. Well, congratulations. It's always good to talk to you. As soon as Tristan saw you were in here, he got all excited, and then I stole his interview on top of it. So.
Sorry, Tristan.
He just wants to go have a beer with you. That's all.
If he pulls up to the mighty land of Croatia, he can. I'll pay.
There you go.
Or opposite, you just come down to South Africa. There we go.
Yeah, your money goes a lot further in South Africa.
Damn.
Yeah, that is true. It's a better conversion for you down here. More beers.
More beers. Sounds tempting. Just because of the beers, I might come down.
See, there you go. All right, let's. Who else? Let's move on here and get this thing before we cost all the Bradleys too much money here.
Take care, buddy.
All right, have a good one, Damian.
Bye-bye.
Let's see who else we need. Who else we got? Dickinson.
Seems, we've got Dickinson and Hayden Young, but we'll have to make it pretty quick for these two.
Yeah,
let's have a quick chat.
Grab Hayden Young. Let's talk to him because he had the lead there and lost.
Let's have a chat. Hayden, you are live here in the commentary box at Motormouth Broadcasting. Talk us through quickly through that race. Apologies for the time constraint, but we're cutting up to the end of it. And talk us through just the start of it because man, you were leading strong and then it just started fading off.
Yeah, I was gone. I was absolutely gone. It was on rails, and all practice everything like that. I was a lot quicker than a lot of people, and I'll be honest, I don't know. I changed tires in the pit. I thought, well, the tires are going off. I'll change the tires, and that was it. It just didn't turn. It didn't accelerate. It didn't do anything. Just kept spinning. Kept completely different. Completely different.
Bit of a cold tire conundrum there in the rain, I would suppose.
Yeah, I had cold tires, which I knew Jeremy would go past me. I knew that. I was expecting that, and then I thought, right, couple of laps, I'll get the tires up to temperature, and no, it just didn't. It just didn't at all. Even till towards the end, it just wouldn't turn. I was going sideways through is it Spoon Corner on the back there. But yeah, just is what it is. Third, but still enjoyed it though. I had good fun.
Yeah, good fun indeed. It's never a dull moment here at the Old Guy Racing League, but unfortunately things are slowly coming to an end because we head to the final round next week. It's a 90-minute race at the Nürburgring combined, so the Nürburgring GP and the Nordschleife. How are you feeling for that one?
I love that place. It's one of my favourite places. In the McLaren, I'm not so sure. But yeah, I do really like the Nurbs. It's a great place. It's a great place.
Yeah, great place indeed. Well, let's hope you can render some amazing results next week around and close off the season in a high note. But before you head out the commentary box, is anybody you'd like to thank or mention?
Yeah, the guys at Jeremy winning it, and you guys for broadcasting, great job, and everyone watching. Hope you have a good weekend.
Incredible stuff. Thank you so much for joining us here. We'll hopefully see you next week. Have a good one.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. You too.
Cheers. And I think before we close off, I see Mike has been waiting a while. We can pull him down for a quick chat. There we go. Micah, you are live on the commentary box here at Motormouth Broadcasting. Apologies about making this one quick, but we decided just to have a bit of a chat before we end off with you. Talk us through that very weird race here at Suzuka.
Oh my God, dude. Thank you guys for having me. I was sweating. I've never raced so cautiously before in my life. The end of the race was kind of boring. I was in no man's land, but I was so thankful because I didn't have no spray or anything to deal with.
No. Don't say the end of the
end of the
race was there was no action. You almost lost third place on the final corner.
I know. Losing that concentration was tough. But once I saw Pasta spin, I was like, oh my God. Okay, let me at least try to beat somebody. I had no idea where I was most of the race because I have two different relatives. They were telling me two different things. So to end the race and to find out I was P3 was just like, oh, well, all right. A good result. I've been struggling to keep it consistent all season, so I'm happy for this good result. And I'm just excited. It's great learning.
Well, I mean, with that P3 stride, how are you feeling heading into the final round at Nürburgring Combined?
I don't know the track, so I'm going to be putting in about an hour every day this week just to make sure I can at least get through cleanly.
Well, let me tell you,
2 per week.
Go run the once every hour official the Ringmeister series, whatever car they've got there this week coming up. Go run the Ringmeister series. Start from the pits. Let everybody get about a minute ahead of you, and just go out there and drive the track. And you'll learn that place. It's that's the way to learn that track. If you try to get in there and race with people, and initially you're gonna wreck out, But if you just let everybody go and just go drive the track, you'll be amazed. It's the place. It seems impossible to learn, but it's not. You'll get to the point where it gets really comfortable. And I tell you what, once you get a grip on that track, it is arguably the most fun place to drive of any track anywhere.
Well, look, I'm going to take your advice on that, and I'll definitely be putting at least 1 to 2 hours in daily just to make sure I can get through this
Yes.
race. And, what a result. I'm so happy.
But
absolutely
all
incredible.
right,
but before you head out of the box, anybody you'd like to thank?
My wife and kids, my buddy Elijah, getting a chance to drive a legend car in real life coming up in May. So a lot of exciting things happening. And OGRL, thank you guys for having me in the league. And I look forward to next weekend.
Incredible stuff. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week. And that was our final interviewee for the night, but that is officially it. The racing is done and dusted. We're going to have to cut our ending slightly shorter than we normally would, as we have gone slightly over time. But I mean, man, what a great race we've experienced here at Suzuka International, filled with water all over the track, and nothing you would not expect to see here at Motormouth Broadcasting. My name has been Tristan Earps, joined in the commentary box and the production box by Jim Cunningham. We'll see you next week, same time, for the Nürburgring Combine, the final 90-minute race here at the OGRL Coffee Cup League. Like always, remember to hit that like and follow if you've enjoyed the stream. And remember, Motormouth Broadcasting, where legends are made one corner at a time. Have a good night, everyone. Cheers, cheers.